In December 1606, 3 ships owned by the Virginia Company would sail out from London to the New World in search of riches and gold. These ships, the Susan Constant, Godspeed, and Discovery, were captained by Christopher Newport, Bartholomew Gosnold, and John Ratcliffe. After arriving in what would later be named Jamestown, the colony would suffer tumultuous first years. Many of the new arrivals came in search of gold. Most did not have any experience farming or were skilled in any trained professions. Some even refused to work at all. Captain John Smith, who was on board one of the original ships, would take a commanding leadership position and would help turn things around. The initial contacts with the natives also showed promise, and eventually the Powhatan Indians, the most powerful of the natives, would succumb to English pressure. The colony would then continue to endure and become a permanent foothold for the English in their quest to settle the New World. Now, with that being said, here are 12 interesting facts about John Smith and the Jamestown colony. Fact number 1. After enlisting with the Hungarian forces in Austria, John Smith was captured and sold into slavery in 1602. He would supposedly beat his master to death one day, put on his clothes, grab his horse, and flee to friendly territory. Fact number 2. Some of the colonists believed that the natives were actually born white, but their skin changed color from the dyes that they used. Fact number 3. The original voyage to the American continent was almost abandoned immediately. With the technology at the time, ships were beholden to winds, and after a month anchoring just 20 miles away from the sail-off point, circumstances did not improve. After a spirited debate between John Smith and the future first president of Jamestown, Edward Maria Wingfield, it was decided to continue the journey. Fact number 4. Smith was accused of plotting an insurrection. Now, this could have been because he overstepped his social bounds with Wingfield, as they were known to dislike each other. Soon he was arrested and confined in a makeshift prison for the rest of the journey. He was not released until a permanent settlement location was chosen. Fact number 5. Smith was sentenced to death and almost executed by the other colonists. When he was kidnapped by Chief Powhatan, 2 of the colonists that had gone with him, Emery and Robinson, were murdered. When he returned to Jamestown, the colonists had decided to leave. After seeing them gather themselves and go on board the ships, Smith would point cannons at the ships and threaten to fire if they did not return. Soon after this episode, he was arrested and blamed for the deaths of Emery and Robinson. He was convicted, and on the day of his execution, Christopher Newport, who had sailed off to London for supplies and food, returned. Seeing the situation, he immediately released him. Fact number 6. He was almost killed by a stingray. While exploring the area, he saw a stingray, and having never seen one before, he got closer and was then stabbed in the forearm. A Dr. Russell who was with him immediately applied an oil to his arm, saving his life. Fact number 7. Treason was not uncommon in the colony. 2 colonists that were helping build a house for Chief Powhatan, realizing that the colony lacked food, supply, and were outnumbered, decided to switch allegiances. These 2 colonists, Adam and Franz, attempted to get others to join them, and after going back and forth between Jamestown and the natives, they were executed by Powhatan for not being trustworthy. Fact number 8. The initial conflict with the Powhatan Indians began when they asked to swap turkeys for swords, and John Smith refused. The natives then resorted to stealing the swords and started to form attack parties. Fact number 9. It took 2 years until the first women arrived in Jamestown. The original direction of the Virginia Company was to look for gold, not populate, hence the lack of women. Fact number 10. 6 months after John Smith left the colony, only 60 out of 500 were alive. The massive decline was in large part due to poor leadership. The colony would increase attacks on the natives, and this would produce a halt in trading. They would also refuse to work as they believed supplies would soon arrive from London. Fact number 11. Thomas Dale, the new leader of Jamestown, implemented extreme barbaric rules. Dale put in a policy where execution was the punishment for adultery, stealing, removing a flower from another man's garden, and running away from battle. He had once even ordered a group of men convicted of stealing food to be tied up and starved to death. Fact number 12. The Dutch ship, the White Lion, commanded by Captain Jope, was the first ship that brought black slaves to English America. In the West Indies, the White Lion encountered the treasurer, commanded by Daniel Elfrith, who was coming from Jamestown. The 2 captains quickly agreed to work together to capture foreign prizes. One of these would be a Portuguese slave ship, and they would carry the slaves back to Jamestown for trade. And those are 12 interesting facts about John Smith and the Jamestown colony. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time.